Alright, how's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be teaching you one of the most versatile tricks for me. I love this trick. I think it's really grown on me in the past couple months of riding, just because I've really learned to get more airtime on my poles and stuff, and these feel really good to crank around. What that is an X-up. So X-ups are a lot of fun just because you can use them absolutely anywhere. I found out even out of little tiny stuff, I've done double peg to X-ups before, and over little curves and stuff like that, up to doing bar to X-up or suicide to X-up. I did a couple of those. If you want to see those, go watch my Sandy Hill video. I'm gonna link that down in the description. You can see me doing a lot of X-ups. X-ups I think are the most fun over tricks that you get a lot of airtime, so you can crank them over crank them. Alright, so obviously if you can't tell by now what I'm talking about, an X-up is when you come out of something and then completely turn your bars 180 like that. Even though a lot of the time whenever you do it, it'll you can stop here, but I trying to make them go past 180. Okay, so the first step to learning these is knowing which way to turn your bars. I'd recommend doing it pulling in towards your front foot, so I'm right foot forward. So I recommend pulling in that way. That way you can kind of stay over your bike. Whenever you're pulling it back, having your front foot there, it just keeps you a little more on balance. I remember trying to learn them this way and it just felt really awkward. It could just be me, but that's how I'd recommend trying it first. If that doesn't feel good to you, you can try it the other way. Okay, so then once you do that, what you're going to need to learn it out of is definitely a bowl or a bank, a really steep bank preferably. You're going to need a lot of airtime to start messing with these just because it is a really weird trick. You have to learn how to maneuver it. But the more airtime you have, the better. And I definitely recommend having either shin guards or something like that. Definitely a helmet, because if you get stuck in this, sometimes you can slide out or sometimes land like this and flip over your bars. Just anything to make you feel more comfortable with it. So just once you start trying to learn this, what you're going to want to do is just do it kind of gradually. Start just a little bits by just turning your bars just kind of to 90 and pulling it back. Once you really have to start committing is once your elbows start getting to where you're past 90. One of the most essential things to this trick is your hands are not going to be completely on the bars. It's if you watch a slow-mo, you can see I'm kind of grabbing it like this. I only have two of my fingers around the bars and the rest of them are kind of stretching out. It's if you kind of this right here, you'll see that once I get to about here, my hands open up and then I'm only grabbing it with my thumb and my middle finger. Because if you try to hold on the whole way around, you're going to be like this. It doesn't work. Your arms are not going to twist that much. So what you have to do is just let your hands open up. It'll do it naturally, and then that way you can just push it all the way around. So that's why this trick is really weird at first. It's because most people aren't used to doing that. You only feel secure if you have your whole hand on the bars. Something to help you get more comfortable with that though is pinching your cranks. I know I've mentioned this in a ton of other videos, and I'll keep mentioning it. It's one of the most important things to learn for these tricks. Any sort of no-footed trick or turning your bars or anything like that, barspins, suicides, T-logs, whatever, it helps so much to pinch your cranks just because you're so much more sturdy. It's if you're standing just on the top of your pedals, your bike can move so much more than if you pinch your cranks. For an example, sit here like this, move your bike, moves a ton. You sit here and pinch your seat, it's barely gonna move. So that's what pinching your cranks does. It makes your your shins, calves, pinch your seat, and that way your bike can move way less under you. So I always pinch my cranks whenever I do X-ups, just because it does give you that extra little bit of security, and it's less likely that your feet are going to fall off the pedals. So how you pinch your cranks, obviously, is on your front foot, you'll drop your heel, and then pinch in, and on your back foot, you'll drop your toe, and pinch in with that. So what that does is that'll push your feet together on the cranks, and then what that does is it kind of brings your knees in a little bit, and what that'll do is it'll pinch your seat with your calves, so that way your bike can move a lot less in the air. Okay, so once you start trying these, definitely like you're gonna have to start opening up your hands to get that to full 180. For this trick, I definitely recommend getting it to full 180 because like it doesn't really look that good if you just do like here. Like you have to go the full 180 or else it's not gonna look that great. And it's really weird with these, because especially on like film and stuff, even if you do get the full 180 like this, it really won't look like you got it the whole way around just because you do it so fast. So that's why I recommend doing this on anything you get a lot of like airtime on, because you can really crank it in there and crank it past 180 and hold it. That way it like really looks like you got it the whole way around. So a few little tricks and tips. I know a lot of people do X-up rides. If you do those, I'm not 100% sure, but I know a lot of people do the opposite of how they actually X-up. Don't know why. I don't do X-up rides, but you might want to try that. So if you do X-up rides, you might want to try it the opposite way. I don't know if it'll help, it won't help. I think it might, but you'll have to see for yourself. So then once you learn these, like definitely try to take them to different things. Like anything you get a decent amount of airtime on, just start like just doing them more and more. Once you get them down, they're literally like the most comfortable trick you can ever do. Just because you aren't taking your like hands or like feet or anything off, like other tricks, like say like a no footer or like a bar spin or something like that. Like they're always going to be a little bit sketchy. So that bird just scared the shit out of me. They're always going to be like a little bit sketchy, and like you're always going to want to take just a little bit of like precautions and stuff because something is coming off the bike. But X-ups, like you're always going to have full control over the bike. One last thing that I forgot to mention is whenever you're learning X-ups, make sure your shirt's out of the way. Definitely don't want to be trying to do an X-up and like if you have a really baggy shirt, because you're going to be over your bike like this, and if your shirt's super baggy, it can get caught, and then you're just going to eat it because your shirt's going to get caught on your bar end and you're going to fall, and it's really going to hurt. So if you have a really baggy shirt on, I'd recommend either tucking it in or changing shirts, because it's not going to be a lot of fun. Alright, so if you look at the slow motion of the X-up that I'm doing right here, you can see that like my weight is like kind of centered over my seat, and then as I get it over my bars more, like it starts to kind of lean forward. So it's kind of like you'll want to push yourself away and straighten out your arms until you start getting towards the 180, and then it'll bend a little bit and then just bring them back out. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this how-to, guys. If y'all have any other questions about the trick, anything that I missed or anything that worked for y'all that I didn't mention, go ahead and let me know down in the comments. I love hearing things from y'all. Go ahead and don't forget to like this video. It really helps me like get encouraged to make more of these. I love doing these. If y'all have any other ones that you'd like me to make, just let me know. So that's pretty much it for this. I really hope y'all go out and enjoy these. X-ups are definitely one of my favorite tricks most recently, just because you can link them with anything. Yeah, go check out my Sandy Hill video. I did a ton of those on dirt jumps there. I landed my first suicide to X-up. That was a ton of fun to do. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.